Hello. Good evening. My name is Christina Morales. I'm the MBA Program Director here at Loyola University. We are going to give a couple more minutes to the other registrants to log in. But again, welcome all and thank you all for joining us tonight to talk about our MBA program at Loyola University. I appreciate you guys taking the time to just sit down and chat with us a bit. And while we wait for the other registrants to log in, for those that are here right now, I just want to I want to ask a favor. If one of you could just type in our question box, just to make sure that it's working properly. Throughout the presentation, we'll start talking about the program and give you all some details about the MBA program and application process and whatnot. But there is a chat box available for students or for prospects to just type in your questions. So while we're waiting a couple more minutes, can somebody please just put in anything on the question box just so we can make sure it's working properly? And as soon as we do that, we should be able to get started. I don't see it working, so I hope that it is. I hope it's not going to give us any issues. Let's see one more time here. Let me refresh this. Again, if you haven't done so yet, if somebody could please just type in a quick question on the chat box just to make sure it's working properly. All right, perfect. Okay. All right, so it is working, and so that is how we will answer those questions today. Again, we're going to go ahead and get started with the presentation shortly, and then any question that you all have, feel free to type that in the middle of the presentation. We do not have to wait until the end of the webinar to get those questions answered. Chances are, if you're thinking something, somebody else is also wondering or have a similar question in mind. So feel free to type those in throughout the presentation. But it is now 5:47. I do want to be mindful and respectful of y'all's time. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, welcome. My name's Christina Morales. I'm the MBA Program Director here at Loyola University, New Orleans. And I thank you all for joining us tonight. A little bit about myself. I have been at Loyola or working within the graduate program space for a little over 7 years now. I am a two-time Loyola grad, so I did graduate from Loyola with both my bachelor's in business administration and also my master's in business administration, both from Loyola University, New Orleans. So I'm a two-time Loyola grad. I've been through all of these courses and all of the curriculum that you guys will be listening or hearing about or learning about today. So just know that I've gone through it, and whenever we speak about the program curriculum and all of the highlights, please know that I am speaking of my own personal experience. But yeah, so thank you so much for joining us. So typically during these webinars, we would host a couple or 2, 3, 4 webinars or open houses on campus during the regular semester. But obviously, because of COVID this year, we did have to shift a bit on how we would host these. So typically during those open houses, we would have faculty speakers come and join us. We would have student speakers come and join us to give you all a little bit of their perspective about what it's like to teach in the program and also be enrolled in the program. So in place of that, I do have a quick video for you all to play for you all. That is one of our finance faculty that teaches in the program, Dr. Denver Travis, wants to just say hi quickly to you all. So I'm going to play that in the next minute or so. All right. So Dr. Denver Travis, again, he teaches a few of our finance classes, and we're going to get a little bit more into the details about the curriculum in itself. But within their program, we do have 40 credit hours. And within those 40 credits, you would have your basic accounting, finance, statistics, and economics core classes. But we also have the opportunity for students to specialize in different areas. And we do have a finance specialization track, which is where both of those classes that he was referring to in that video are located. So again, we'll talk a little bit more detail in the next couple slides about our curriculum. But first, let's just talk about why an MBA and why you would choose Loyola for your MBA. First and foremost, I think something that is very important to mention about Loyola's MBA program, and I definitely think that was something that was very relevant to me when I was going through the shopping process of looking for a graduate program or a graduate education, is the fact that you do get to learn from established business leaders in Loyola's MBA program. So, and I think from a personal level, I think that is invaluable for a number of reasons. But first, the fact that you get to learn from different established business leaders in the classroom, I think is very important and sets us apart, because within our Loyola MBA, we do have or we do make a very concerted effort to make sure that we have a good combination of both full-time tenured faculty that are very highly researched in their academic fields, like Dr. Travis, but we also have a good number of practitioners that are out there in the real world working 9 to 5 within those areas that they're teaching. So we do have a really good balance of both that full-time tenure faculty, but also those established business leaders that are coming into campus and then teaching our classes to our students, and they're teaching things that they're doing on a day-to-day basis for a living. So I think that was very important to note regarding the Loyola MBA. Secondly, within our courses, our students have the opportunity to consult for real clients. And this is something that happens from the very first day they become a student, and even within your core classes, which also is another piece that when I was going through my shopping process of looking for a program, I thought set Loyola's MBA program apart. The fact that you get to consult for real clients is essentially, I mean, it is a win-win for the student, but also for the businesses. But when you think about it from a practical standpoint, the fact that you're able to apply what you're learning in the classroom with a real business and a real client immediately when you're enrolled in the program allows you to go through that learning process before you're actually fully employed or doing it for one of the businesses after you graduate. So the fact that you get to consult for real clients helps you obviously widen your network, because you get to meet other employers that are within the classroom. You get to also work as consultant for these clients, but you also have your faculty that will be helping you along the way and sort of coaching you through the process. So I think it's something very important to note for a graduate degree is the fact that you do, within our MBA program, you do get to have that real hands-on experience from the very first day they become a student. And we do that through getting that real client consultation inside of the classroom. And then last but not least, I did touch a little bit on this in my previous two topics, but the fact that you get to build your professional network while you're enrolled in the program, I think is a very, very important piece to note here. Something that I'm a true believer in, the fact that whenever you enroll in a graduate degree, and this can be in business or not, but I think one of the main benefits of enrolling in a graduate program is the fact that you will get to widen that professional network. I would argue that almost half of the value of what you're going to get from an MBA specifically will come from that professional network that you're going to be building. Again, keep in mind that when you're in the classroom when you enroll in the program and you're in the classroom, you're learning as much from your faculty as you are from your classmates. So within your coursework, there's a lot of group projects involved. There's a lot of one-on-one sessions with faculty, but also with students. So the fact that you get to have sort of those relationships established within the classroom is a huge plus, because at the end of the day, once you graduate, those are the students that were with you in the classroom. Those are the ones you're going to be calling up whenever there's something coming up at work, or just need to to bounce off ideas from another professional that's like-minded. Again, I can tell you from my personal experience, whenever I'm facing a situation at work where I need to just talk it out and see if there's come to a conclusion of some sorts. Definitely, my classmates that I was enrolled in while I was in the program are those first people that I call just to kind of bounce off ideas off of them. So the fact that, again, building your professional network is a huge piece, I think, in any graduate education. And we are very proud at Loyola that we're able to do that both in the on-campus and the online space for our students. Again, within the build the network, again, we do that inside of the classroom, but also outside of the classroom. A lot of our students, through MBA Student Association, through our partnership with the Young Leadership Council here in the city, a lot of our students get involved with their communities and sort of also build their networks that way. And that is definitely something that we encourage all of our students to do. So this is a quick snapshot of just different employers in the city and outside of the city that are either that our current students are currently employed at, or that some of our recent alums have moved on to after they've graduated from our program. And the reason why we like to include this slide and we like to show you all these different logos and just to show you these companies is to show you that we're not necessarily a program for one specific type of student, right? As you can tell from these logos, I mean, our range of educational and professional background from our student body will range in all different type of industries. So we're not one program for one type of student. And that's something that I do think also allows for a richer experience inside of the classroom. Again, because you're not going to just be in the program enrolled with a bunch of students that are very like-minded like you. We do have a wide range of educational backgrounds. So finance, history, dance, music industry, biology, you name it. There's different majors present within our program, which again allows for a rich experience in the classroom whenever you are going back to those group projects and whatnot. So again, that's part of the reason why we like to include this slide, just to show you all sort of the differences of our student body that are currently enrolled in our program. So another thing that I personally was considering a lot when I was shopping around for an MBA program was, what will I be able to do with my MBA after I graduate, right? Students and students are looking into different programs for a different number of reasons. But one of the most popular and one of the primary reasons why we have students looking into graduate degrees in an MBA specifically is because they are looking to make a change, perhaps, or perhaps maybe you've reached a level in your current company where, in order for you to keep on going up that ladder within those positions, you're going to need an additional level of education. So the career aspect within a graduate degree and within a business graduate degree, I think, is very, very important. And I know most of you would also argue that those are probably in the top 3 reasons why you're looking into an MBA program. So specifically through the Career Services Department, we have on campus, we have a Career Development Center, which they are located in Monroe Library, 2nd floor. But basically, this is an office that is completely dedicated to our student body and just the job searching process for all of our students, regardless of where you are in that process, right? So if you're an undergraduate student looking for that first-time job, or you're a graduate student with 5-10 years of experience under your belt, the Career Development Center would have services for you to kind of help you get to that goal. So first and foremost, are within the Career Development Center, they do have a couple of job posting sites. It's Handshake and Career Shift are both of these. If you are a previous Loyola student, or maybe your undergraduate university had Handshake before, you may be familiar with that platform. But it's essentially our own in-house worknola.com or LinkedIn job posting site, monster.com. It's essentially a website where there's different positions posted, and students would be able to go and navigate their way through and apply for different opportunities through that handshake site. And then the second one, career shift, which I think is a little bit more relevant to our graduate students, is it's similar in nature, right? It's a job posting site. But in addition to having all those job postings available, the career shift program will also allow the student to add in a little bit more information about your own personal background and your experience. And it'll help you sort of navigate or the process of if you are trying to make a transition in industries, right? So if you have 2-3 years experience under your belt during for a specific industry and you're looking to make a shift and you're looking to make a career shift will help you sort of translate those skills that you've applied and learned in your current experience, and how do you translate that into a new area. So I think out of both of those, for sure, career shift would be the most relevant to our graduate students just because of where you all are coming from, right? You guys are coming from different walks of life, and the majority of you all are coming into the program with some experience already under your belt. So again, Handshake and Career Shift, both of those are online platforms, and our students are able to use those from very first day that you become a Loyola MBA student. Secondly, which is very standard for career services departments within universities, they do host a number of job fairs and recruitment events all throughout the year. We are currently, the Career Development Center is currently this week hosting about 10 to 15 different employers throughout the week, where students could go in and log in for a virtual job fair. So obviously during the normal academic year and during normal circumstances, so COVID aside, we typically would host these on campus. But obviously, because of COVID, a lot of these initiatives have shifted into the online space, which for the working professional actually has been more beneficial, right? Because you all get if you're working from home, you get the opportunity to sort of schedule, let's say, a 1 hour lunch break and attend some of these recruitment fairs. So again, they host a bunch of those all throughout the year. And we're doing them all primarily in the online space right now. In addition to those job fairs and recruitment events, they offer also one-on-one career counseling, one-on-one resume review, and cover letter help. So if you ever are applying for a position and you want an extra set of eyes to just review your resume, look at your cover letter, if you ever have the need or you're looking to have those initial conversations of, if I do want to make a switch in industry, where do I even start? Those one-on-one career counseling sessions would be very, very helpful for you. And again, if you've been working in the real world for a couple of years now, you do know that obviously these career coaches come with the steep price in the regular scenario. So the fact that you have access to these completely for free, included in your tuition and fees, is a huge benefit again for our graduate students. So I want to make sure that you guys are aware that from the very first day that you become a student, you have access to all of these career services resources. And I highly encourage our graduate students to take advantage of these from day one. All right, so now I want to dive in a little bit more deep into the curriculum in itself. So what exactly does it mean to complete your Loyola MBA, right? So overall, our students are able to graduate in anywhere around 1 to 4 years, depending on the track that you end up deciding you would like to pursue the MBA. All of our classes, if you're looking into an on-campus program, all of our courses are in the evening. So the majority of our classes will meet once a week from 6:20 to 9:35 p.m. with an occasional 2-night a week from 6 to 9 classes. But again, this is primarily for our on-campus program, but we also have a number of online degree programs that you can also enroll in. And then again, depending on which track you end up choosing, you may complete your MBA in anywhere around 40 to 45 credit hours. And I'll talk a little bit more in the next couple slides about those differences. But the first option that you all have within the MBA space is our fast track MBA. So this fast track MBA is intended to be completed in 12 months. We also have a global MBA triple master degree. This is the newest addition that we just added into the option. And this program is set to launch for the first time next fall. So if you're looking into this global program, you will be part of the inaugural class. Our professional MBA, which can be completed in anywhere between 24 to 60 months, this is the majority of our student body. So the majority of our students are working full-time, 9 to 5, and then they come into campus and they complete, let's say, 2 classes per semester, and they end up graduating within those 24 months. And then our online MBA, which allows the most sort of flexibility when it comes to when you enroll and when you start taking classes. So our fast track MBA is essentially ideal for anyone that's just either looking to be a full-time student, or maybe you were coming to us from a business background. So if you graduated with the business administration degree, a bachelor's degree, and you're looking to just knock it out in a year and complete the degree within 12 months, then this is the ideal program for you. Obviously, you may start this fast track program either fall or spring semester. So we do have 2 different entry points for this fast track MBA. So if you're looking into starting the fast track program this spring, then you essentially would complete the program from January through December of 2021. Our professional MBA, again, this is the majority of our student body, and this is ideal for anyone that is just looking to complete your program as a part-time student, but still keeping your full-time job and also keeping some sense of sanity, right? If you're working full-time, you have a family, and you're looking to get your MBA within a 2-year mark, then this is the program for you. And then within the professional MBA, I will talk a little bit more about these in the next couple of slides, but within the professional MBA, you will have the option to complete optional specialization tracks, but we'll talk a little bit more about that in the next couple slides. So our global MBA triple master, again, this is our newest addition into the MBA program options at Loyola. And this is ideal for anyone that's if you're looking to find some sort of international experience within your MBA degree, then this is for sure the program for you. In essence, this program will allow the student to complete their MBA, their Loyola MBA, while visiting 3 different campuses in 3 different cities. So you would start in the fall semester at Loyola University, New Orleans with your first 15 credit hours. After you wrap up that first term, you move on to Schema Business School in Paris, France for your second set of 15 credit hours. And then you finish up your degree in the summertime / the first half of the fall term at LMU in Munich, Germany. So you actually wrap up your MBA from Loyola in October in Germany. So it's a really exciting opportunity. Again, if you are looking to get a global international experience with your MBA, this program would be ideal for you. And the reason why this program is called the Global MBA Triple Master is after you complete those 45 credit hours of MBA requirements, the students will then have the option to complete an additional 15 credit hour thesis project with any of these schools. And if you complete the extra 15 credit hours, you would end up graduating with your MBA from Loyola plus 2 additional specialized master's degrees from each of these different schools. So it's a real unique program and a unique opportunity to get your global MBA, but also visiting these different campuses. Because again, you get to go through coursework with faculty from these different schools as well. And both of these universities, I mean, we're very, very proud and very excited about this program because of the caliber of both of these programs that we're partnering with. So again, these are top 10 universities within a business school perspective. So it's a real unique opportunity if you're looking into an international experience with your MBA. And then last but not least, our online degree program is essentially ideal for anyone that is, again, if you're looking for a part-time schedule, maybe you do have a full-time, you're trying to get some flexibility with online coursework. All of our online courses that are offered in the online MBA are online asynchronous, which essentially means that you're going to be going at your own pace, right? There is no live lecture component to the online MBA. So it really allows for the ultimate flexibility because you can go at your own pace whenever you are pursuing the online MBA program. All right. So in addition to our 24 credit hours of core curriculum, we have 12 hours of electives, and then we also have 4 hours of immersion weeks. Now, these immersion weeks are, in essence, classes that are 1 credit each, and they last 1 week only. So within the immersion week space, our students would come into campus Monday through Thursday, and you'd essentially complete these very, as you can tell by the topics of these classes, they're very niched topics, right? So venture and ideation, business law, real estate investments, healthcare project management. The intent for these immersion weeks is just to give you all a deeper dive into a very specific topic that you wouldn't ordinarily get within the elective space of an MBA program. So again, these are 1 credit hour each, and you get to pick and choose 4 based on your preferences. Within the immersion week space, the only required one that all of our students have to take is our ethics and social justice immersion week. Again, if you're not familiar with Loyola in itself, we are a Jesuit institution. So we for sure want to make sure that our students, whenever they leave our program, are making ethical business decisions, right? So that ethics piece is very essential in any Jesuit education. So the ethics and social justice immersion week is the one that all of you guys would take. And then you get to pick and choose your 3 remaining options from all of these classes offered. So again, it's a way to allow you all to customize your MBA as much as possible within the immersion week space. So I did mention the specialization track possibility within the part-time MBA, but again, our part-time students, or professional part-time students, because you guys are going to be enrolled in 2 semesters, in 2 years at least, there is more time to be a little bit more strategic and flexible with what electives you end up selecting based on, again, where you're coming from, right? So all of our students have to take 12 credit hours of electives. So those are 4 electives total, right? So within the professional program, you may select to take, let's say, 1 elective in each of these different areas and end up with a very general MBA, or you have the option to select 3 out of those 4 electives in one of these topics, and you end up graduating with your MBA with a specialization track in finance or with a specialization track in entrepreneurship, marketing, or operations. So again, it allows you all to sort of customize your degree as much as you want, but without any expectations that you have to specialize. We completely understand the attraction to certain students into an MBA program for the fact that it is a generalist degree, right? So some students want to keep their options open instead of sort of selecting or automatically putting themselves in a specific area. So the beauty of these tracks is that they are optional, right? So unless you are looking to get that extra level of specialization in one of these areas, you can. But if that's not what you're looking for, you can always end up selecting whatever elective fits most with your needs, and you end up with the same degree. Everybody ends up graduating with the same MBA without that specialization if you're not looking for that. So in addition to those specialization tracks and the different options of online and on campus, we do have some dual degree programs available for our students. In that sense, the primary benefit of enrolling in a dual degree program at Loyola is one, you get to obviously save yourself some time whenever you are enrolling in both degrees at the same time, because you're completing the coursework simultaneously. In addition to that, you also save yourself a little bit of cash because you do benefit from some credit waivers whenever you are enrolling in a dual degree option. So let's take the JD MBA as an example. If you're interested in enrolling in both our law school or our law program and also the MBA program, and if this was something that was already in the plans for you, if you decide to enroll as a dual degree student, you get to cut back a total of 18 credit hours less if you're enrolled at the same time. So what that looks like in your course listing, in essence, from the MBA side, you would be waived 3 out of those 4 electives. So you would only need to take 1 elective total from the MBA side. And you graduate from the MBA portion with 31 credits instead of 40. And the same thing applies for the law school. You get to cut back a total of 9 credits from their curriculum because you'll essentially be taking or applying 9 hours of our MBA curriculum towards their requirements. So all of our dual degree programs have that benefit that you would sort of get that credit waiver in those elective courses based on what program it is. So, for example, JD MBA, again, you get to cut back those 9 hours from each side. Master of Pastoral Studies and MBA, there's a 21 credit hour waiver there. Criminology and Justice, there's a 11 credit hour waiver. And then in the Master of Science and Nursing, there's also a credit waiver. And then again, considering the fact that we do have both on-campus and online programs in the majority of these options, you get to do both, right? So the only program that we only have the option of on-campus is the JD MBA. But then all of the other ones, MPS, the Criminology and Justice, and also Science and Nursing, we have all of those 3 options also both in the on-campus and in the online space. So again, there's some room for customization based on what you're looking for. Something that I will mention about these dual degree programs is sometimes you don't necessarily know that that's what you're looking for until you're already enrolled in the program. So the good news is that you do not have to apply for the dual degree program right off the bat. You may start one program and then do a little bit regardless of how you get to that conclusion. If you end up deciding that you want to add the second degree to that program, you may do so. So what we typically recommend is that start whatever program you're thinking of first. And then if you are looking into adding that second degree program to your curriculum, we would recommend a meeting with both myself, which I serve as y'all's academic advisor in the MBA program, and then also somebody from the other, a representative from the admissions office, from the other department, and yourself. So we can always sit down, the 3 of us, and have a brainstorming session of what your curriculum will actually look like if you end up making the decision to enroll in a dual degree. All right. So, and that's essentially that was the majority of our information regarding curriculum. So now you all would like to learn now what, right? So what is the tuition cost for these programs? The majority of our on-campus MBA or the majority of our MBA programs tuition price is set at $1,005 per credit hour. And then again, our programs will range from 40 to 45 credit hours, depending on which one you end up selecting. So overall sticker price will vary just based on what program you're enrolling in. So if you're looking into the fast track or the part-time on campus, then you're looking at 40 credit hours. If you're looking into the global program, it's 45 credit hours. But the tuition cost is the same. So you're just going to increase based on how many extra credits you're taking. Your fees are also applied on a semester basis. So you will, at the end of the day, whenever you're looking at your tuition bill for the semester, you will be billed based on how many classes you're taking. So if you're looking for an overall sticker price to make it easier to sort of digest, if you're looking into the fast track program, which means you would only be enrolled in the program for 1 year, then you're looking at roughly around 42,000, and that's both tuition and fees included. And if you're looking into the part-time program or the global program, I would budget anywhere around 45 to 50, again, based on which one you end up pursuing. Now, within those tuition costs, there's definitely different opportunities available for financial aid. So I don't want you all to think that that sticker price is what's going to be what most of you all will be paying. We do have different forms of financial aid available to help supplement and help you make those payments for your tuition. So first and foremost, which is the most common, there's always the option to apply for federal aid in forms of loans. So if you filled out your FAFSA application for your undergraduate degree, it's the exact same process at the graduate level. You would fill out your FAFSA application with your information, your personal information, and then the maximum amount that our graduate students should receive within 1 year should be around 20,500, right? So 20,500 for one academic year. So if you're looking into the part-time program and you're looking to make your payments solely based on those student loans, then you're pretty much set with that student loan for the year, right? Because at 40 credit hours total within the program and at 1,005 per credit hour, if you're doing 20 in your first year and 20 in your second year, then you pretty much should be set within, or the majority of your payment could come out of those student loans. In addition to those student loans and the federal aid in forms of loans, you can always apply for aid within the College of Business. And these are my favorite sorts of financial aid options for you all, because these are the options that are not loans, right? So you do not have to pay these back. So within the College of Business specifically, first, we do have merit-based scholarships. All of our applicants within the on-campus space will be automatically reviewed for these merit-based scholarships. And all you have to do to be reviewed for these scholarships is in your application form in itself for the program, there's one question that says, are you interested in any type of financial aid? All you have to do is click yes on that question, and you're automatically going to be reviewed for these merit-based scholarships. The admissions committee will make these decisions because they are merit-based. They will make these scholarship decisions based on your test scores. So if you're going to be taking either the GMAT or the GRE as part of your application process, that is how the admissions committee will be making those decisions for those merit-based scholarships. So in addition to those merit-based scholarships based on your GMAT or GRE scores, we also offer through the College of Business as well paid research assistant positions with our faculty. So these are positions called graduate assistantships, and these will pay an hourly rate for the work that you're able to do with the faculty member that you're assigned to do research with. So the majority of our students that are applying for these GA positions will get a position. We do try to accommodate basically all of the applicants for these positions. The number of hours that you will be assigned every semester will vary based on how many students are applying and how many faculty members need assistance from our students. But on average, our students will receive anywhere around 10 to 15 hours a week. And at a $12 an hour rate, it does give you an extra spending allowance for textbooks and whatnot. Some students decide to either have that money deposited straight towards tuition so they don't have to worry about it, or if you have that deposited to a personal checkings account, then you'll have that extra spending money. But again, these GA positions are actually very, very popular with our fast track student population, because if you don't have a full-time job, you're able to maybe keep a part-time job. also complete a graduate assistantship, and then still keep your full-time load. And it's definitely still manageable for those students. So again, as far as financial aid options, federal aid in forms of loans, merit-based scholarships based on your test scores, graduate assistantships for all applicants. So there are different options for you to look into at the university level. Now, outside of the university, if you are looking into primarily our part-time program, and if you're working full-time for your employer, a lot of these employers will have different opportunities for their employee to go into graduate education. So that we do have a university employer reimbursement program that basically works with these students, right? So if your employer will pay for your education for your MBA, but maybe they need to see your grades posted before they make that payment. Available through the university is that employer reimbursement agreement, which basically buys the student a little bit of time for your grades to post. So basically, through that employer reimbursement program, our student will just be responsible for the first 10% of your bill for that semester up front. And then that essentially buys you time for you to complete your class, for your grades to post, and for your employer to make the payment later on for your classes. So again, because I did mention the majority of our student body within the program are in this professional program, a lot of our students are in that scenario that their employer are paying for their education. So again, if you're currently employed somewhere right now and maybe you're not familiar with what their policies are for going back to school, I highly encourage you to look into your employer handbook and see within your benefits handbook and see what type of options they have, right? Because again, because tuition is applied per credit hour, whatever that number is that your employer will cover for a year, that'll also help you make a decision whether or not you're looking into a full-time, a part-time schedule, online schedule, and so forth. So I encourage you, if you haven't done so already, to take a look into your employer policies and talk to your HR department to see if there's something that can be arranged for you to do to help supplement payment for your MBA that way. All right. So this is my last slide that I have for you all tonight. You've heard about why a Loyola MBA, who we are, what our curriculum looks like, our application process. And so now what, right? What is the next step that you need to take in order to keep this process moving to get you enrolled? So first, there's an application form, which is 100% online. So I know some of you have already started that process. So congrats, I applaud you. If you haven't done so yet, click on the application link, which is linked to our main website, and you can go ahead and start that application process online. You would create your account. So all you need is an email address. You would put in your information, and then you can start filling that form out electronically. In addition to that application form, which is online, you will also upload to the application portal your resume. So we do require your resume, so you can upload that straight to the application portal. You can also upload directly to the application portal your essay requirement. We do require a statement of purpose or an essay. We do have there's 3 questions posted on our application page, so you'll be able to see what we're looking for. But the intent is for you to address one or all 3 of those questions, just so the committee gets to know you a little bit more in detail than they would learn with your experience in your resume. So just the idea behind the essay is just to kind of learn a little bit more about your motivations, right? So why Loyola MBA? Why are you looking for an MBA? Why now? What do you bring to the table? What are you looking to get out when you enroll in the program? So those types of questions are what we're looking at when we're looking into the essay. But again, those are that requirement is a 400 word or less essay, and you can upload that straight to the application portal. In addition to the essay and the resume, we also require 2 forms of recommendation. Now, those can come from current employers, previous employers, previous professors. So if you're just graduating from your bachelor's degree, maybe you're looking into that fast track program. Previous professors or academic advisors would be great recommendations. We just need two. And in that application portal, you will all be able to type in your recommender's name, their email addresses, and then the system will send them an automated form that we need. So you don't have to be tracking them down or knocking on doors or calling them up. You will just put in their information and the system will take care of that process for you all. And then last but not least, we do require official transcripts from all universities you've attended, and then a GMAT or GRE school report where applicable. So those transcripts, if you graduated from Loyola, if you're a previous Loyola University student, you may request those through Laura and get those sent to us. If you are able to access your unofficial transcripts, you can upload that into the system and we'll be able to get your official transcripts later on. If you did not graduate from Loyola, then we would need that you request those official transcripts from your universities directly and have those sent to us. And then again, that last piece is that GMAT or GRE score report. And this is usually that application requirement in which we get the bulk of our questions in this part of the presentation. But we do require the GMAT or GRE for the majority of our students. However, we do have waiver options available for select students. So what we see happen a lot, especially within our professional program, is a student may be coming to us again with some professional experience under their belt. So we will waive that GMAT GRE requirement in that specific scenario. So there's a couple of other reasons in which we'll waive this requirement. One, of course, the professional work experience, right? So if you have at least 5 years of progressive professional experience where you have, let's say, if you have people reporting directly to you, let's say maybe you have profit and loss responsibilities that fall directly under you. If you are using significant sort of analytical skills on a day-to-day basis, those are the types of experiences that we're looking for in order to waive that GMAT requirement for you. So if you have at least 5 years of that type of experience, then you will be waived that requirement. In addition, if you graduated from another AACSB accredited business program with a 3.0 GPA or higher, we will waive that requirement for you. So if you graduated from our business school or any other business school that is AACSB accredited with a 3.0 or higher, you will be eligible for that GMAT waiver. Thirdly, if you graduated from any other graduate education, any other graduate degree with a 3.0 or higher as well, then you should be able to qualify for that GMAT GRE waiver. And then final option for a waiver possibility is if you have a professional certification. So if you have, let's say, a CPA or CFA, if you have any of those types of professional certifications already, then you would qualify for one of those GMAT GRE requirements. So again, that GMAT requirement is something that we would ask for all of our applicants. But if you fall under any of these categories that I just mentioned, then you will be likely eligible for a GMAT GRE waiver. We completely understand that being able to schedule a GMAT right now because of the pandemic and being able to study and find the time to study for the GMAT right now may not be the easiest thing. So there are some flexible options in there for you if you don't fall under any of those categories. So again, if you haven't taken the GMAT yet, and if that is definitely a piece that you think will be an issue for you for the application process, and if you don't qualify under any of those categories I just mentioned, feel free to reach out to me and we can talk about the different options that may be available for you. Because if you can't take the test right now, we completely understand and we will work with you to find a way to get you to take it some other time or find an alternative for you to to complete in place of that GMAT GRE requirement. But on the bottom of this slide, I do have those deadlines coming up. I apologize, this summer I need to swap that around. But if you're looking into either the spring, which is the nearest time to start the program, or the fall, your application deadline or your priority application deadline for you to be able to start the program in January is going to be November 30th. So the end of this month. Please keep in mind that is our priority deadline. So we would like to have the majority of your applications in by then. But if you need an extension, again, feel free to reach out to me, talk to me about it. Maybe you're waiting for your undergraduate degree to confer at the end of this year. Just talk to us about potential extension requests, and we will work with you to get your application in a little bit later than that November 30th deadline. But if spring is our first term in which you can start the earliest as possible, which will get you in January classes. And if you're looking to start the program, any of our programs a little bit later, then your priority deadline for the fall cohort is going to be June 30th. And then summer cohort would be May 1st. So those are our application requirements, and those were our deadlines. I'm going to go back to this slide just to keep that in case you guys need to take some notes. But that's essentially all I have for you all tonight. If you all have any questions, right now would be a great time to type those in. If you don't have any questions right now, or you prefer to ask those questions on a one-on-one basis, please feel free to reach out, and we can set up some time to either speak on the phone or have a Zoom meeting so we can go over those questions specific to your application. So if you rather do it on a one-on-one basis. But if there are no questions for the group right now, I do want to thank you all for joining us. I was hoping to keep this right under an hour, and I'm glad to say that we have done that. I appreciate you guys taking 1 hour of your evening. I know you all have had long days, probably working today. So I appreciate you guys just taking the time and joining us. I think something that I've learned over the years of working with applicants in our programs is usually this is the hardest step, right? Scheduling some time to come to an open house or logging into a webinar is that hardest step, because it means that you're actually admitting to yourself that maybe this is time for you to go back for a graduate degree. So I applaud you all for just making this first step. And then our goal is always to make the next steps as easy as possible for you all. So the application process all the way through enrollment. So feel free, again, to reach out with any questions, any requests, give us a call or send us an email, and we will be able to work with you along the way. But again, thank you so much. And if there are no questions, then good evening.